Shalom, Markim. This is the brother Karatazar with GMS Orlando, also known as GMS Florida. So today we're going to get into this lesson of free will. Does it exist? So when you go within the scriptures and you read the scriptures, free will does not exist, okay? In the normal everyday world, people tell you that you have free will to do this, that, and the other. But science has recently come to the realization, at least some scientists, that the illusion of free will is just that, it's an illusion. And that something else is provoking us to do things that we do, okay? Something is filling our head with ideas and making us act on this, all right? That's something we say is the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth, all right? The ruler of the whole universe, okay? So with that, we'll go ahead and get to this first video that I was watching. You brothers can watch this video. I just advise you that, sometimes, the things that we watch, they go off, but they also have some good points in it, okay? So with that, hold on.
Do you control your thoughts? Think about this question for a second. You may have been unfazed by my videos so far, and you reacted to the question with something like, of course we control our thoughts. Or maybe you thought, no, our thoughts are controlled not by us, but by unconscious factors. Or maybe you haven't had enough time to decide what to think. Now you might be thinking, did he just say haven't? In any of these cases, did you freely choose which reaction you had? Here is Sam Harris giving a lecture on free will in 2012.
From the perspective of your conscious mind, you are actually no more responsible for your next thought than you are for your birth into this world. You can see that you no more author the next thing you think than the next thing I say. Thoughts simply appear in consciousness. What are you going to think next? What am I going to say next? I could suddenly start talking about why we don't eat owls. Why don't we eat owls? They seem perfectly good. Where did that come from? It came out of nowhere as far as you're concerned, but the same thing is happening in your own mind at this moment. I'm standing up here trying to reason with you, and you will think, he does look a little like Ben Stiller. Thoughts just emerge in consciousness. We are not authoring them. That would require that we think them before we think them.
When I was watching...
Right. So he's saying that thoughts just come out of nowhere, right? Well, we know that thoughts don't just come out of nowhere. They come from the Most High. How do we know that? Well, let's go into some of these scriptures real quick. All right. Sirach 18:1, verse 3, 1 through 3. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he. But who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. So it says, who governeth the world in the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. Meaning that you're going to do the will of the Most High. All right? Here's another scripture. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own ways? Proverbs 20:24. Meaning that you don't understand the things that you do, or your own ways is hard to understand because your thoughts are coming out of a void, as the man said. What void? The void that's coming from the Most High. That's with the wicked and the righteous. Okay? All right? So, we'll get into this some more. I want to make sure I get this video first.
Desires and beliefs that influence your thinking patterns, when you analyze your thoughts close enough, you realize that they just appear out of a void. If you sit down, close your eyes, and attempt not to think, you will immediately see that this is close to impossible. Your mind is flooding itself with thoughts almost all the time, and the thoughts that we feel we consciously choose to think are merely the ones we happen to agree with. We of course have a will to do things. My will to make this video is what caused it to exist. But I did not freely choose this will.
So our choices matter, and there are clearly paths toward making wiser ones. I mean, there's no telling how much a conversation with a smart person could change you. But we can't choose what we choose in life. And when it seems that we choose what we choose, so perhaps when going back and forth between two options, we don't choose to choose what we choose.
This kind of discussion might provoke someone to perform arbitrary actions to demonstrate their free will. Look, I have free will. I can sit in this chair and do nothing because I want to. But all this would demonstrate is that your past experiences have created the type of person that would choose to sit in a chair when someone challenges the existence of free will. I have to agree with Daniel Dennett's point on free will. Realizing the US dollar's value is an illusion since it went off the gold standard is not going to have people burn their dollars and start bartering. In the same way, coming to the conclusion that free will is an illusion doesn't necessarily have drastic repercussions. All the
Right. So you see, that's just a little video to show the point. But it seems as, it is that these thoughts that we have come from somewhere, all right? And they fill our head. And our actions are not always our actions. Like we might choose to do one thing and end up not doing it. That's what Paul was telling you in Romans chapter 9, I think it is. That which I do not. That which I would, that which I would do, I do not, and that which I would not, that I do. All right? Showing you that there's no free will, man. You may get up today and say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And then you end up not doing it. You end up laying in bed all day or doing whatever. Or you end up driving and you see some big event and you end up stopping at that event. Well, then can you say that you have free will or that someone else or something else is controlling you? Okay, now let's go into the scriptures and show how in the scripture it shows that there's no free will. And one scripture we could start with is Jeremiah 63:17. All right, Jeremiah asked the Most High a question. And it says, Jeremiah 63:17, O Lord, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways and harden our heart from thy fear? All right, Jeremiah's asking, why has the Most High made us to wander from his ways? Okay, he's asking the Most High, why did you make us? All right, why have you made us err from your ways? Not why have we gone from your ways, but why have you made us to err from your ways? It says, and you hardened our hearts from your fear. All right. Return for thy servant's sakes the tribe of thine inheritance, that the people of thine holiness may possess it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine. Thou hast never bear rule over them. They are not called by thy name. Now, why is it like this? Okay. Why has the Most High hardened our hearts and made us to err from his ways? Because it's a whole process that he wants to go out with, or go through with. Okay? And we'll show that process now and then get into the whole thing of free will. All right, so let's go down to 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 3. 2 Ezra chapter 3, verse 19. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire and of earthquake and of wind and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seeds of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel, so that he may give us a law. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. So he did not take the wicked heart from us so that his law could bring fruit in us. He left it in us, which means that this God, the Most High, Yahweh, is a programmer. And within the program of us, of our minds, of our bodies, he did not take the virus out, which would be the wicked heart. He left it in there so that the law could not bring forth fruit in us, which is why we can never be saved by the law. It says, for the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome. Meaning what? When the Most High God created the first man, Adam, all right, he had a wicked heart and he transgressed and overcame. This is how the Most High programmed him. Okay? And so be all they that are born of him. That's why on the video, the man is telling you it seems as though all of these thoughts are coming from a void, somewhere where we do not know. We are not putting these thoughts within our heads. Okay? It says, so be all they that are born of him, meaning that we're the same way. 22. Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still. So this answers why Jeremiah asked that question. And this is the answer to that question, because this is the way that he made us. Now, we can further go into that by going into 2nd Esdras. All right, and let's go to 2nd Esdras. It's not on the screen, but I'm going into my Bible to get it. Okay, so 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 18. And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them that dwelled in that now live, no man spake against me. For then every one obeyed. But now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, because of the devices that were come in into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of a cluster, and a plant of a great people. This talking about Israel. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So, the reason for it being no free will, and the reason for the Most High God leaving the wicked heart in us, which Jeremiah was asking about, so that the law couldn't bring forth fruit in us, is that he was making this people perfect through a process. He wanted to put them through a process, and he labored to put them through that process so that they would become perfect. This is why there's no free will. Now, let's move on to the free will. Okay? How does it work? Job chapter 33, verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumbers upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. Why? Because the Most High wants man to do his purpose. The Most High wants Israel to do his purpose, the Most High's purpose, his plan, which is to perfect the children of Israel and bring out a certain elect of the children of Israel and believers and set them in the kingdom to set this world upright. Now, could he have done it another way? Yes. But this is the way that he wanted to do it. Okay? So when you go to sleep at night, the Most High seals your instructions for the next day. Those are the instructions and the thoughts and the ideas and the purposes that you're going to do for the next day, according to the Most High's will. Okay? That's why the man says that it seems that these thoughts are coming out of a void. Yeah, it's coming out of a void, coming directly from the Most High God himself. the ruler of the whole universe. Okay? All right? Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Now, heart is from the Hebrew la'ab, meaning mind. So it would say the king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. Remember, remember the man said it seems that these thoughts are coming out of a void. Yes, the Most High turneth their mind as he wants it to turn. If you're going to be righteous, you're going to be righteous. If you're